Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share the videos. And the momentum started last week. The momentum is going. We are flowing. We are rolling down a mountain now like an avalanche to the money. Week 3 NFL. Hit that like button. Let's get to the first game. On Thursday night, we got the Carolina Panthers at the Houston Texans. Carolina is minus 7.5. I got Carolina to win in the cover, and this is a borderline money pick. No one seems to know who's going to play quarterback for the Houston Texans. As of right now, we know Tyrod and Deshaun Watson won't be playing, and this is a Carolina team that is well coached. I told you guys that Carolina had a chance last week, and Matt Rule and this offense is what's going to work against Houston. Darnold, we saw him catch some heat in the second half last week. I'm looking forward to what he can do. And we all need to remember, I think Houston's going to come out and fight. They're going to battle this year, and you got to give credit to them, but they're just not good enough, especially when you look at this quarterback situation. Carolina wins and covers, and this is one I need you guys to hold on before Thursday because this might turn into a money pick. But Thursday night games are always risky. Let's get to the next game. We got the Arizona Cardinals at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Arizona is minus 7. And I got the Arizona Cardinals to win in the cover, and I would love to come on here and tell Jags fans that Urban's going to get this figured out, that there were some good signs from that Denver game, but that Denver game left me absolutely disgusted with the Jacksonville Jags, and that's why I couldn't take them even the cover last week at home. And you got Arizona coming in. Look at how many explosive plays they had against the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings defense sucks, but also the Jags defense sucks as well. So I think Arizona comes in here, and it's a matter of how many points. We'll see what Lawrence can do, and I think Lawrence will play good, especially in the first half when this game's competitive. But I think Arizona really puts the clamps on them. Next game, we got the Indianapolis Colts at the Tennessee Titans. Colts are plus 5.5. Money, 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 money. Now listen carefully. It's Colts plus 5.5 to cover, which is the money pick. I think the Titans win this game, but let me talk about Vegas for a second here. I did believe Tennessee could pull that upset last week. But I don't believe they're going to blow out the Colts. I don't believe they're going to beat the Colts by more than a field goal. I think this is a nasty game. I think it's a very physical game. And honestly, this is going to have a playoff-type atmosphere due to the desperation, especially with the Colts. I think Reich has something up his sleeve to pull out. Wentz showed some things last week. I'm not overly excited, but you know you're going to get a good running game from the Colts. And this Titans defense still has questions. Colts do just enough to cover. Titans still win. Make it a money pick. Next game, we got the Baltimore Ravens at the Detroit Lions. Baltimore is minus 7.5. I got Baltimore to win in the cover on the road. And one thing we have to remember about Detroit, they're going to play hard. But that's about all you're going to get from them. And I think last night showed the Packers' weaknesses more than the positivities with the Detroit Lions. But when I look at this game, I look at Lamar Jackson, and I look at Lamar Jackson against a slow, sluggish defense on the other side of the ball. There just ain't enough athletes and not enough dudes out there to really make an impact to stop Lamar Jackson. And if you can't stop Lamar Jackson, you're not going to stop the Ravens. Plus, this Ravens defense will absolutely eat Goff alive. Ravens win and cover. I think this bounces up to 8.5, 9 before it's all said and done. If you're looking to get this in as a money pick, get it in early. Next game, we got the Washington football team, the no-names, at the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo is minus 9. Everything in my instincts tells me Washington plus 9. But there's no Ryan Fitzpatrick. And that is going to absolutely kill the Washington team season. I don't think they can be competitive this game. And we know Heineke, he'll compete. He'll make a few good throws. But I don't think he can keep the turnovers down, nor do I think he has the talent or the run game. If the Bills are able to get comfortable on defense with a lead. That's when they're the best. I think the Bills get an early lead. They play a lot of zone coverage. Heineke throws 2 or 3 interceptions. Buffalo rolls. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints at the New England Patriots. New Orleans is +3 going to Foxborough. I got New Orleans to win and cover. This game comes down to which team is more physical, which team has a better D-line and O-line, who's going to run this rock better. I'm rolling with Kamara. I'm rolling with Sean Payton. This is going to be a very, very close game, and this isn't a great game this weekend. I know it's not going to be talked about a lot, but for me, this is one of the most intriguing games of the weekend, and it's going to come down to old school football. The Saints have to use their defense. They don't got Drew Brees anymore. We know Jameis can make mistakes, but the Saints keep it simple. They run the ball, and I think they stop Mac Jones. I really like the Saints +3, even after what happened last week with Carolina. Next game, we got the LA Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chargers are +6.5. I'm going Chargers to cover, and you guys always get on me when I pick teams to cover against the Chiefs, especially if it's a big point spread, but the Chiefs just simply don't cover. And last week was a perfect example of that. And they almost found a way not to cover and not to win the game. Yes, and when you look at the Chiefs, they're a team with bigger ambitions. So sometimes you feel like they take the gas pedal off the car in the regular season. As for the Chargers, they got to respond, man. That wasn't pretty last week. That offense wasn't pretty, and Herbert, he deserves criticism. He deserves heat. I know the internet loves Herbert. I know everyone's in love with him, but that was a pathetic performance against the Cowboys, especially when you factor in the Cowboys secondary and the fact they didn't have DeMarcus Lawrence. I think Herbert comes back. I think he comes back, and that leads the Chargers to cover. Chargers defense can also scheme and ball. Next game, we got the Atlanta Falcons at the New York Giants. The Giants are -3. I'm going Giants to win in the cover, and there isn't a hell of a lot of science here. You just don't know what Atlanta team you're going to get. And everyone who is judging Atlanta by last week against the Buccaneers, we have to keep in mind that the Buccaneers, they do get disinterested like the Chiefs during the regular season games. And if the Bucs wanted to, they could have put up 65 against the Atlanta defense. I think that helps the Giants offense. I think it helps the Giants offense that Atlanta doesn't have a legit pass rusher. I think it helps the Giants defense that Matt Ryan makes a few mistakes a game. For me, this game comes down to who makes least mistakes. I think the Giants take care of the football, and I think Saquon Barkley's an X factor here, and I really want to see how this Giants defense matches up with Matt Ryan. We know the Giants defense can clog run lanes and stop the run, but let's see how they operate against the pass. I like the Giants. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe, and if you want to see every game I bet for every week of the NFL season, check out my Patreon link in the description. Hit the like button. Let's get to the next game. We got the Chicago Bears. The Bears at the Cleveland Browns. Chicago is +7.5. Money, money, money. Money. I got Chicago +7.5 to win in the cover. That wasn't a hard, forceful money call, but that was a soulful money call due to Justin Fields finally getting his time. And I believe Justin Fields will start. I am making this money pick with one constraint, and follow me closely because I do not want to be making this clear in the comment section numerous times. If Justin Fields starts, I love Chicago +7.5. Chicago's defense is pretty good this year. They look a lot better than last year. Listen, and this game is going to be physical. And Cleveland is best when they're more physical than the opposing team. But this Chicago defensive line is hard to push around. Chicago's offensive line, it needs work. But with Justin Fields, that adds the mobility to get away from Clowney and Myles Garrett. That's what the Chicago Bears need. I think Justin Fields just makes 2 or 3 big plays, And that's enough to keep this close. Let's see how the Browns come out, because they're going to need to look better and more rhythmic if they're going to cover this against Chicago. I don't think they will. Chicago covers, Cleveland wins. Next game, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cincinnati is plus 4.5. I went back and forth with this one all day. And this is one you might need to wait to later in the week. Remember last week with the Bengals Bears, I started with the Bengals, then I moved solidly to the Bears later in the week. I got Pittsburgh as of right now, but I'll tell you what, guys. Actually, no. I got Cincy plus 4.5, but Pittsburgh to win. I don't like this minus 4.5 for Pittsburgh. We know it's in Heinz Field. We know that Bengals offense looked like crap last week, and we know the Steelers have a good defense. I still don't like that 4.5. I think it's just a wee bit too much. Monitor that. As of right now, Cincinnati covers, Pittsburgh wins. It's an interesting game. Next game, we got the Miami Dolphins at the Las Vegas Raiders. Miami is plus 4.5. I got the Raiders to win in the cover. I don't even know if it matters with Tua's injury all that much. I called it. He just isn't built for the NFL game, and he even looks small out there. The Raiders defense is playing better this year, guys. That's where I'm going to start. There's nothing complicated. There's nothing sexy, but they are playing better, and the Raiders are still able to run this ball, even with all the new offensive linemen. I think Carr makes a lot more plays than Miami's quarterback in this game. I think even if Tua starts, I think the Raiders have a big advantage here. And this has been kind of the theme of the Raiders. Everyone likes making fun of them, but they always start fast, and then they fade at the end of the year. I think Raiders continue playing good ball. Raiders win and cover. Next game, we got the New York Jets at the Denver Broncos. Jets plus 10.5. This is trench warfare. This is World War I. I'm just digging the trench. I'm just throwing the mustard gas, not even looking. Jets to cover, Denver to win. This is just pure inertia. This is just pure feeling. This isn't any science involved. This isn't any film involved. But I got the Jets to cover, and I just don't know how explosive this Denver team is. And we're going to hear a lot about Denver, but I'm just warning all you guys right now. I know all you guys who watch this podcast for years know it's coming, but there will be a college fund against Denver once they start getting built up in Vegas's eyes, and we'll bet against them. This week's not the week to put all the chips in the middle, but I really like the Jets plus 10.5. Like I said, because of inertia, I just don't think Denver's all that explosive a team. Denver wins, Jets cover, but I would stay the hell away from this. Next game, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Los Angeles Rams. Tampa Bay is -1. Money, money, money. No, this isn't a money pick. I wanted to go there. This is one to stay away from. This is a national game. This will be a close game. I got Tampa Bay to win in the cover. I like how the Rams have started, but like I said, as the season goes on, the depth of the Rams will be exposed, especially when you're going to be in close four-quarter games against teams like Tampa Bay, like the Chiefs, like the Niners. That's when all your weakest links start showing. Your weakest link isn't going to show too much against the Bears. But Tampa Bay comes in. I think they win this game. I don't think the Rams can get a sustained pass rush on Brady. Donald will do his thing, but the ball comes out of Brady's hands so fast that I feel like that is the deciding factor in this game. And I don't know how many big plays the Rams have in them. They really need to get Deshaun Jackson more involved with this offense. I just think Tampa Bay makes more big plays. And when you're talking one-possession game, you're talking coaching, you're talking quarterback play, and you're talking who makes the play. I think Tampa makes it. Tampa wins and covers. Next game, we got the Seattle Seahawks at the Minnesota Vikings. Seattle -2 on the road. This is a very, very interesting game this week. And this is one I think people are going to be going back and forth with. I got Minnesota due to the home field advantage. But there is a disclaimer to those of you who watched the film. Is anyone seeing any positive signs out of this Vikings defense? Because I'm not. I thought with playing all the young guys last year, the defense would look better. Yeah, I'm stuck watching people run past Rashad Breeland and Patrick Peterson. Actually, Seattle wins and covers. Seattle wins and covers because I think the Vikings get hit with the deep play. Kyler Murray was just kind of closing eyes and heaving it deep and beating the Vikings that way. That's how the Vikings lost. Yeah, you have Dalvin Cook. Yeah, you have Thielen and Justin Jefferson. Yeah, you have legit targets. But when you face teams like Seattle and Arizona, they also have dogs on the outside. And I think Seattle will do it. I'm not a fan of Seattle's defense. A lot of you guys got on me about that last week, and you saw what Tennessee did to them at home. Not a fan of Seattle's defense, but I think they make more plays than the Vikings defense. They got it. They got it. I mean, Vikings defense has two elite players, Kendricks and Harrison Smith, but we're not seeing them being used correctly by Mike Zimmer. The Vikings are in trouble. Seattle wins and covers. Next game, we got the Green Bay Packers plus 3.5 at the San Francisco 49ers. Money, 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 money. I got San Fran to win in the cover. And San Fran was a money pick last week on my Patreon. And I'm a fan of the Eagles. I like the Eagles more than other people. But the 49ers are a proficient team that is just great in the trenches. And when I look at Green Bay, I feel like every single year they are overrated in the trenches, whether it be their offensive line, because Aaron the Game Rodgers, a great quarterback helps protection. That's one thing casuals don't understand. And then another thing, people act like Green Bay has a good defensive line. They don't got a good defensive line, and they're not physical enough in the defensive line. San Fran's going to run this ball down Green Bay's throat. If San Fran is focused and ready to roll, I see no reason why Green Bay should be able to stick with them. And that Lions victory on Monday night by the Green Bay Packers, I don't know about you guys, but they didn't look awful good that game. And are they going to be able to run it with Aaron Jones 20 plus times against the 49ers? I don't think that's a recipe for winning. That's not, and I don't think the Packers will be able to make enough big plays. Now, this 3.5 is a little bit dangerous. If you want to be careful, if you want to get your blanket snuggie, maybe work the money line, maybe work this down to 2.5 or a half a point down to 3. Either way, San Fran wins and covers. You got to love what Shanahan's doing. They looked phenomenal in that Eagles game. Yes, they left points on the board. It could have been a blowout, but they did look phenomenal, and they look ready to win. Next game on Monday Night Football, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas is -4. Money, money, money. Money. I got Dallas to win in the cover. This might be me getting a bit too excited and letting the positive momentum from week 2 get me a bit excited, but hear me out. I had questions about Philly's defense going into this year, but their defensive line has pleasantly surprised me. But I think Dallas's offensive line can handle them. I think the secondary of the Eagles really struggles against these torpedoes that Dallas has on the outside. And you work Zeke in it and you create a little bit of balance. I just don't think the Eagles have the dogs in the linebacking core or the secondary to really keep up with them. Eric Wilson is a really good linebacker, but outside of that, who do they have who can move at the linebacker position? And that's what you're going to need to do against the Cowboys. As for Hurts, he always gives the Eagles a puncher's chance. That's why last year we took him to cover, and this year we're not sinking him like everyone else was. Hurts keeps this offense in rhythm due to his run game and just due to the play action they're able to utilize out of the shotgun. But I think Dallas loads up against the run and forces Hurts to throw it deep. I think he makes a few plays, but I don't think he can make enough plays to keep up with this Cowboys offense. Philly needs to play NFC East 1980s football. They need to run the ball. They need to keep Dak off the field. I don't think they'll be able to keep Dak off the field or these Cowboys off the field. That's why Dallas wins and covers. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. If you want to see every bet I make, go to my Patreon page, link in the description. Check out my Instagram page, Lawson Bets NFL. Hit the like button, share this video. This is the best gambling show on the internet.